Dallas Cowboys minicamp wrapped up this week, and the Cowboys are off until Oxnard, and we are off as well. This is our final episode of the Blitz. Happy Father's Day to all from the Star in Frisco. I'm Lindsay Draper. Bill Jones, happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, 98-degree weather here, and the next time we get together, it'll be about 68 degrees in Oxnard, California.
Cannot wait. We've got a jam-packed final show for you today. We got Writers Roundtable coming up. The Playmaker joins us. It's going to be good stuff. He is with Mickey Spagnola, but first things first, the big news of the week. We had a payday around here, and it wasn't for me or Bill.
There's
Zach Martin.
One person in particular who is the happiest man here at the Star in Frisco, and of course that is Zach Martin. And yes, it's a contract extension of 6 years that will take him through the 2024 season. 6 years, $84 million is the total on it. $40 million guaranteed, and that makes Zach Martin the richest offensive guard in the history of the National Football League.
We've got, it just happened this week, everyone. So questions, we'll get to those. I want to know, how does that hit your bank account? What's the first thing you're buying? Hey, these are important questions we need to ask Zach Martin.
But as far as the offensive line is concerned, obviously the Cowboys are banking on them, and that's been what's sort of been what Jason Garrett has wanted to do ever since he took over this team, now going on 8 years ago, is fixing that offensive line. It was the drafting of Tyron Smith, the drafting of Travis Frederick, the drafting of Zach Martin, and now all three of those perennial Pro Bowlers are under contract at least through the 2023 season.
With all of these questions and new wide receivers and tons of different groups, we're going to get into that next, but it's one group that is solidified here.
That's right, and they've solidified it in other ways too, trying to take care of some of the deficiencies last year.
Absolutely. We're going to get into a lot of that and more, but next up on the Blitz, the Playmaker joins us, and always got to stick around for Michael Irvin.
The Dallas Cowboys Blitz is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. The law offices of Domingo Garcia, the lawyer that works for justice. And by the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. For the ultimate Dallas Cowboys experience, tour the Star in Frisco, where the Cowboys train and work. For more information, visit thestarinfrisco.com/tours. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Welcome back to the Blitz minicamp wrapping up this week. The last time these Cowboys are going to feel this heat before they get to Oxnard, California in just a few weeks. Bill, again, happy Father's Day to you.
Well, thank you very much.
Big week out here this week. Michael Irvin joining the sidelines, which of course is always a treat for us and the players.
Yeah, that's right. You saw number 17, Alan Hearns, a fellow player from the U, and with Michael Irvin out here, we always love to hear what the Playmaker has to say, and Mickey Spagnola had an opportunity to sit down with him.
I'm with Michael Irvin, the Hall of Fame wide receiver, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys. Good to have you out here. You miss like mini camps or what?
Yeah, and just missing these times. I've always liked these times. I like mini camps. I love training camps, and I was telling the guys that this is the time you set the goals for what you want to do this year. It doesn't happen in September when you're coming together and it's time to play games. It's the moments right here. And then in September, you look at each other and say, you remember what we said? You remember what we talked about? Let's get it done right now. So yeah, I love these times of the year.
And Michael spent some time after practice talking to a couple of the players, one of them, Tavon Austin. You know a little bit about Tavon Austin. What kind of advice were you giving him?
Well, I've known Tavon, when he's in L.A. and we got a chance to hang out, spend some time in Atlanta. When he was looking for a home a couple of years ago in Atlanta. So even when he got here, we got a chance to visit. I was like, man, isn't that incredible, man? I mean, we've been kind of hanging out, and now you're here in Dallas, and he, kind of gave him the rundown. But I told him, I said, man, this is such a great opportunity for you. And it is a great opportunity. I say it's all good playing other places, but there's nothing like playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And as exciting as a player as he is, if you can make some of those exciting plays, it'll take you, your family, everybody to a whole nother level. And he talks about it. He said he enjoys it. He really understands, starting to learn the offense and starting to learn what they expect of him. he's really looking for a big year.
Figure how to get the ball in his hands. The other guy you spent some time with was the rookie Cedric Wilson, the 6th-round draft choice. First time you met him, and what was your message?
It's my first time meeting him, and you know, Coach brought him over. Some of the things that Coach and I have always talked about, even, you know, Coach was, before he got here, and coaching other players, he would ask me to work with the guy in getting off the jam and just talk to him about that position, the jam, because a lot of receivers, you know, when they come in from college, that's the one thing that kind of scares them or worries them. Is some DB coming up and putting them in that press technique. And the first thing I tell them is, understand, you're in control. You know where you're going. He doesn't. He's pressing you to make you think, but you already know where you're going. Now it's time to make him think. He has to get low and come off that ball right now. And we talked through the techniques. I gave him some things, some tools to work on helping him get off that jam. And if he masters that, the rest of the game will fall in line.
Now the Cowboys are kind of taking a different approach with this wide receiver position. There's no real proven number one. You were a number one your entire career. So how do you think this is going to work with some sort of wide receiver by committee?
Well, and that's what I tell some of the guys. Yeah. We, and I have to say we because we're in the media, may say there's no real proven number one, but the reality is all of these guys were number ones where they came from. You know, you don't come to this level from other levels. If you 3, 4, and 5, and 2, you only come to this level as a number one. You know, it's just like in the NBA, you get guys, they come in, they become rebounders, but they were great scorers in college. It's just that they got somebody that probably can score a little bit better than you in here, and they just tell you to rebound. Here, there's an opportunity for every guy that catch a pass to be considered by the media number one. But they have to go on this field, each and every one of them, knowing, not thinking, not hoping, but knowing that they are a number one and fight for the position that the media will call the number ones and play great ball.
How do you think it's going to work without Dez out here?
You know, I want to say my analysis out of my head, and it combats with my heart because I love the Cowboys. But I've always studied, when I study Dak, I see Dak and some of the form of what I saw Tom Brady do with great legs. You know, Tom Brady plays the game inside out. Inside out. And that's why he was able to play so long, as opposed to Peyton Manning, who plays the game outside in. That means all of your balls are deeper balls thrown, longer throws outside. Dak plays inside out. And now we have inside receivers, primary inside receivers, so the game will fit his game better. Now it's up to him and the guys to take it to another level.
Okay, Michael, thanks a lot for joining us. Michael Irvin, Hall of Fame wide receiver. Back to you guys.
All right, Mickey and Michael, and just always love seeing Michael out here. You like the cap he was wearing, right?
Hey, it was bedazzled, and Michael Irvin, as a man, wonderful. Love that look. Only one who can pull it off.
And, of course, Michael will be joining us for the final preseason game again this year. That will be at the Houston Texans.
It'll be so fun. Anytime you're broadcasting with Michael Bill, I'm sure that is a treat.
He'll
Next
show up midway of the first quarter, and then we'll get some good stuff from him.
Absolutely. Mickey will be joining us on set next with the rest of our Writers Roundtable as we look ahead and talk about maybe some Cowboys who have been disrespected this offseason. We'll discuss next.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Coming to a close here as we are wrapping up summer. We're wrapping up the Blitz. We are wrapping up all action with the team this week here. Welcome back to the Blitz. We have a full set now. Mickey now joining us on set. Nick Eatman and David Hellman, DallasCowboys.com for a special edition of our Riders Roundtable. Are you guys ready? We got lots of stuff to get through.
Let's do it.
We need some opinions. Bill, we need yours in this too.
Okay.
All right, first things first, guys. I want to know which Cowboy was most disrespected in the NFL's top 100.
What do you think, Dave Hellman?
I mean, I got to go with Zach Martin, and I'll tell you why right off the bat.
Because he's ranked number 71.
Well, he's number 71, and his contract's worth $84 million. So, like, his contract is worth more than his spot on the list, which, I mean, regardless of whether Zach got a contract extension done this week or not, I think he's the best guard in football. I mean, we can go over some of these other guys, but that's about 50 spots too low at least.
Well, I mean, it's a dumb list anyways. I mean, it is.
True. No, it absolutely is.
Is it because the players voted for it?
Well, I mean, it's a dumb list because they try to say this is a 2018 season and we're getting excited about the season, but yet clearly it's voted on what happened last year, where J.J. Watt wouldn't be in the 90s and Odell Beckham's not in the 70s and Zeke wouldn't be 54.
Zeke would be 54, yeah.
You ask 53 defensive players if it's better than that. So definitely Zeke, to me, is too low.
Absolutely, Zeke. Think about this. He only played 10 games, and he rushed for 983 yards. My University of Math Bill tells me that's
University of Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Got it. 98.3 a game, right? Kareem Hunt led the league in rushing. He averaged 82.9 a game. Zeke's got to be in the top 20.
Okay, let's move on. Who led the team in receptions last year? He's no longer with the team now, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's a
Who's
guarantee.
leading the team in receptions this year? Let's start with Nick Eatman.
Zeke.
Wow.
Yeah, Zeke Elliott.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he does. I don't think it's a good thing. This isn't like, hey, great.
Okay.
But I do think it's going to be more spread out with the offense, this whole Dak-friendly stuff. And I definitely think that Zeke's going to be more involved there, a lot of more checkdowns and screens.
Like over 60 receptions?
Yeah.
Kind of like what Emmett used to do back in the day?
Yeah, with Hearns getting 53 and, you know, Jarwin getting 48 and that kind of stuff. Rico getting 70, you know, all that kind of. Whoa.
Wow.
17.
Throwing hot takes out here.
Anyone going with Beasley?
What else could you do out here?
It's true. I mean, Beasley's a good guess.
Okay.
I absolutely agree
High
with
five,
that.
Dave.
Well, I'm sorry, Lindsay. I said Allen Hearns.
Okay, that's a good one.
I just think, you know, the versatility he's shown out here, what he did in Jacksonville, he can play outside, he can play inside. I think he's going to do a lot of different stuff. I also think he's one of only, 2 receivers on the team that I feel comfortable is going to be out there all the time. I mean, we've seen him go through 10, 12 guys out here with the first team just during minicamp. So, you know, you paid him to be a starter. He's going to be a starter. I think it's going to reflect in his stats.
Lindsay, I'm going with you.
Yes,
Cole Beasley, because he led the team, if you remember, in 2016 with 75 catches. And I don't see anybody last year had anything more than 75 catches. So Cole Beasley's going to lead the team in receptions.
All right, we're out here at minicamp. You guys have had a chance to look at the new guys. Which rookie is going to have the biggest impact?
I'm a broken record saying this. I've been saying it since they drafted him. It's got to be Connor Williams. And that's not a knock on Michael Gallup or Leighton Vander Esch. Connor Williams is in line to get 100% of the snaps as a rookie. He's going to be your starting left guard, barring injury or something like that. Nobody else in this rookie class can say that. I think Vander Esch is going to have a chance to make an impact. I think Gallup could push for a starting spot. They're still not going to be in there 100% of the time. I got big expectations.
Anyone else besides Connor Williams?
Yeah, he's right about that. He's going to start, but for me, it's Dorrance Armstrong. I think he's the guy that you're going to see. You're going to see more because I think he'll sneak his way into getting 6 or 7 sacks on this team, and I think he'll push Taco as well. But I think he's going to be a third down guy that's going to opposite of DeMarcus. I think he's going to get a few sacks. I think he's the guy that gets
4th round draft pick out of Kansas. All right,
4th round picks do well there.
Connor Williams, and I don't know that it'll be by performance, but just the fact that he wins the left guard spot starting, and which allows Lael Collins to stay at tackle, which allows Cameron Fleming to assume the backup tackle spot, and that backup tackle spot was the Cowboys' Achilles heel last year. So because Connor Williams is here, he's awfully valuable.
And if he can stay healthy, he wasn't able to stay healthy as last year at Texas. All right, what will be the biggest training camp storyline? Mickey, start with you.
Tavon Austin. I think he's going to do so many different things, not only as a receiver, but handing him the ball and on special teams as a return guy. Keep an eye on Tavon Austin.
Safety for me. I mean, let's see what happens. Does anybody come in here? Do they sign a safety? Do they trade for a safety? Is Cheeto moving to safety? Is Xavier Woods going to hold everyone off? Safety is what I'm looking at.
I'm going to cheat. I mean, Mick's going in the right direction, but it's just the whole receiver core. I mean, like I mentioned with Hearns, how many of these guys do you even feel confident are going to make the team? Like maybe 2 or 3 have a guaranteed spot here. The rest is just a free-for-all. I can't wait to see how it shakes out.
For me, it's the downfield passing game, vertical passing game.
Yes.
Guys has to improve.
Yes. All right, stay here. Just don't go anywhere. We've got much more from this group coming up next, including we dive a little bit into the NFC East. What did every other team do this offseason? Who has done the most? We'll discuss next. All right, here we are back on the Blitz. Riders Roundtable continues. I see a little Zach Martin in there. We may or not get to that. Let's get right back into our discussions. We said we wanted to bring up the NFC East. Who had the best offseason and who has the best chance to go with the Eagles this year?
Well, I mean, the Eagles, you're right. They're the #1 team right now, and we'll see if anybody can knock them off. But if you look back to the last couple of years, though, I mean, it has been a rotation here. So I think the Cowboys, to me, have the best chance of knocking them off. I mean, just because of the foundation that they have with the offensive line, the running game, and they can win games. If they can get a lead, they can win games. So I think you can stack them together. I think the Cowboys have the best chance of knocking the Eagles off.
We got to find out a whole heck of a lot about the Cowboys, but don't go to sleep on them. They're not that much different than what took place in 2016, and they were awfully good. You put Zeke on the field for 6 more games. We don't know about Sean Lee, how long he can stay on the field, but if he does, this defense is going to, I think, has got a chance to be awfully good, despite everybody's talk about the free safety spot.
You bring up 2016, Mick. The New York Giants have the same defense that dragged them to a wild card spot in 2016. They revamped that offensive line with Nate Solder and Will Hernandez. Oh, and they drafted a guy named Saquon Barkley.
No big deal.
So I'm just saying, it's going to be a loaded division. I know the Giants only won 3 games last year. I have a feeling they're going to win.
Hey, guys, don't forget the Redskins have Scandrick.
That's true.
That's true.
Oh, gosh.
That's right.
Everybody, can't forget that.
For some reason, the Cowboys gave away number 32 already.
Oh.
Okay, now,
Yikes.
as Mickey sort of alludes back to 2016, all right, so who has the most likely chance, Dak or Zeke, to be an MVP this season?
Zeke.
Kind of a la the 16 season.
Zeke.
Okay.
He probably was, for 10 games, the MVP last season on offense. So he's the engine.
Kansas City, Atlanta. Dak was there for both. Zeke wasn't. Big difference in how those games turned out. I think it's Zeke.
I'm just going to keep playing off what Mickey says. Zeke is the engine of this team and has been. Car with a great engine still needs a driver. Quarterback's the driver. I mean, like, Zeke's got to do his job for this team to be successful, but if Dak's not playing well, they're not going to go anywhere.
We are wrapping up. This might be the last time you see a lot of these guys on your TV set until training camp. Percentage, we may have Earl Thomas here with us at camp or around camp.
It sounded like she was retiring us. Last time we're going to see him on camera.
Mickey will be back. Don't worry, people. Earl Thomas,
Earl
Nick,
Thomas.
I'm looking at you because you talk about this a lot.
I'm going to say 71%.
Okay.
Dang.
That final 29% will get you to 100. 71.
Dang. I had 15%.
Wow. Okay. Stark difference.
It's a lot to ask. I mean, you gotta agree on the price. You gotta sort out a long-term contract for the guy. I'll believe it when I see it.
When I'm driving down the street and I see a bunch of smoke, I think there's a fire over there. So when there's smoke, there's fire.
If they don't have to pay a second-round draft choice for him and $14 million a year, then I think they have a chance to get him. But for that price, it's too rich for a free safety.
But it sounds like you don't think they need him.
I think Xavier Woods is pretty good, and I think he just needs to play.
Nick has faith in the young guys. We're going to take our next break, and when we come back, don't worry, Bill Jones is going to give you his season prediction for the Cowboys. What will their record be?
Can we stay to hear that?
Bill is telling us next.
The Dallas Cowboys Blitz was brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. The law offices of Domingo Garcia, the lawyer that works for justice. And by the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. For the ultimate Dallas Cowboys experience, tour the Star in Frisco, where the Cowboys train and work. For For more information, visit thestarinfrisco.com/tours.
What you've all been waiting for, Bill, your season prediction for 2018.
Oh, wow. The pressure is on at this early juncture on Father's Day. I am predicting 11-5.
Ooh, I like
How's
it.
that? 11 wins
good.
here on CBS 11.
We are going to get more into that from training camp. Oxnard, California is where we'll see you next. Happy Father's Day, everyone, and thanks for tuning in.